Hello everyone and welcome. I'm Angela Kibia, a research assistant based in the Department of Psychology at King's College London, and I'm working on the Supporting Black Families Affected by Psychosis research project, also known as SAFE. SAFE is funded by the Maudsley Charity and led by Principal Investigator Dr. Juliana Oromeri. At some point during our lives, most of us, or indeed someone in our families or friendship groups, will use health services in some form or another. You might visit your GP, you might have routine assessments like a blood test, or you might receive treatment for a health complaint. Research plays an important role in improving our understanding of health conditions. It can also help us understand the effects and benefits of different treatments and ways of providing healthcare and how these might vary across different groups, and why, at times, you may want or need to do things differently to meet the specific health needs of defined groups. So the overall quality of healthcare and the services that we use can all be strengthened by research evidence. However, we know there can often be fewer people from Black ethnically minoritized backgrounds involved in health research, which has been linked to several reasons, including there being a lack of information on exactly what research involvement might mean. How many of us often think research involvement is only about being a participant in a study? While being a participant is incredibly valuable, there are also other ways people can get involved in research. And one of these include being in an advisory group where you advise and share your views and ideas with those leading a research project. Sounds nice, I guess. But what can that be like, especially for those from Black ethnically minoritized communities? In this podcast episode, we will be discussing the key role of advisory groups in healthcare research. We'll be hearing from some people from the SAFE Advisory Group about what their experiences have been. The first question we would like to ask is, what motivated you to get involved in research as an advisory group member?
Shall I go first? Okay, thanks. Yeah, for me, I work for a local authority and I'm in commissioning. And oftentimes when we're looking at commissioning new services, we're told that the information or the data, the knowledge isn't there. So for me personally, knowing, that there's many health inequalities for people from the global majority background, I just wanted to be involved, use my voice where I can to try and make, a positive impact. And, I know that, a lot of people that look like me can often shy away from things like this. So I thought I would, try and, change the trend a bit and ensure that those voices that are often not heard are heard in these spaces.
Yeah, I would say for myself as the leading host organisation, I think what we wanted to do was to give the community a chance to be part of research and to be part of something like this. I think, just in time when I've asked people, what do you know about research? Have you ever done research? And the answer was always, no, and no, I don't know how to get involved. So when I was presented with this opportunity to chair this particular research, I jumped at it and got a message out to community asking who would like to be part of this research. So for us, it's about spreading the word and opening the doors for our communities.
I would definitely say that I think just looking at the world, looking at our community, looking at our struggles, our challenges, things that we go through that only we go through, I think you just get to a point where you want to help and you realize that sometimes the places or the sources of help that you might be looking for, they're not going to help you, and you have to do something yourself. You have to get your hands dirty. You've got to get involved. And so I think, that's really the motivation for myself is, just trying to do whatever I can do within my power to support, and not support from a social media perspective or just from a top level phrase or whatever's current and trending, but from a real practical perspective. At the end of the day, I don't know how many people do these things. I don't know how much of our community supports across the board, or in particular with the subject matter of this research group. And as with some others as well, I've never been a part of a research group before, but I just thought, you know what, I've seen something that is trying to support the community, and I need to be part of that.
Thank you all. And can you share your experience of being involved in an advisory group and how it has impacted your understanding of research?
I would say that I've had a fantastic experience. I've had a really great experience. As I just mentioned, I've never been part of an advisory group before. And so to listen to people in the group, to listen to the specialists and those that are all about research and so forth, has definitely increased my knowledge and understanding about what research is about and how it is important. And, I think just listening to people's stories in terms of what people are sharing, in terms of their expertise, their experiences, in terms of their own knowledge about the subject as well, it's a great place to learn, great place to understand. And, again, it helps to create that real positive narrative about what our advisory group is all about.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I think I would echo that. I've enjoyed the experience. I enjoy coming along to the meetings, getting a chance to hear from different people, their perspective, also just increasing my understanding of what it's like, not only for the patient but the impact it has for their family members. I think that's what's really stuck out for me, and kind of the lack of support that is there for the family and the people who are like the direct carers, and the trauma that they go through themselves, even trying to access services, some of the barriers they come up against. So I've found it a really interesting experience, and I've enjoyed it so far.
I would say the same thing as well. The experience has been great, and I think one of the things I've liked it, because it's been at least a year. I'm not sure how long we've done it in precisely, but it's been over a year that we've been doing this, and that we've been able to be consistent and not give up after one or two. So sometimes it might be low numbers, but we've still had that conversation. And the next time we just emphasize that to the people who wasn't at that last meeting. So I've just like that we've been able to continue this, and we haven't just at the first hurdle. Because I've been in too many things that, because it didn't go well, oh no, it's not going to work. We've continued until we're now doing a podcast, which is really good. And I think for myself, just learning from everyone on the group as well. I think it's nice that I can then sit back and just listen to what the issues are in the community and see how else I can help individuals, but also the issues within our communities on my other projects as well.
Thank you all. And as someone from a Black racially minoritized background, what unique perspectives or insights do you bring to the advisory group discussions?
Well, as a Black British female, living here in the UK, clearly I've got lived experience of some of the discrimination and barriers that we come up against, in society in general. So I think that, that perspective is always useful, but also the perspective around, even though I was raised here, a lot of the cultural stigmas that are here in the UK as well, and that in our communities we don't really have that wide of understanding around mental health in general, and people tend to get labelled and stereotyped, almost made fun of if they're going through a difficult period. I think having that awareness of that, and bringing that into the discussion is always good. Also, I'm active in the community as well. Like Andrew was saying, it's about knowing what the community are thinking and saying as well, and to be able to feed back some of the learning and knowledge from this group into the wider community it's been really beneficial, and I've had some great conversations and, you know, trying to encourage others to get involved. So yeah, it's been good in that way.
You know, you just took everything out what I was going to say as well. So I wish I went first, but it is literally just being able to open the door for discussions, basically, for people who's never done it before, and also tell people that they can be involved in research, and it doesn't mean going on a table and having injections in put into you, right? It can be a conversational, and then hopefully that information then is brought back and then brought back up the ladder. So I think from my side, I think I've always said, you know, to the chair, it's about what's going to happen next as well. I think sometimes we can do a lot of talking, and I think what the community wants to see is also what happens next. And I think, but also what happens next isn't straight away. And I think that's something that we've had to learn, is it does take time. You know, we've waited so long to get to even be in this position. I think we can wait a few more months to kind of get things done properly so that we can present it back properly. And I think that's what I've had to tell a lot of the community. Things aren't going to change straight away, but we need your help to help things to start to change.
And yeah, I would say as well, in terms of unique perspective, I just think some of the stakeholders that we know we'll be dealing with, and you know, will be appropriate based on the subject matter. I just think experiences just with them, whether that's with the police, whether that's with the local church, businesses, you know, entrepreneurs. I just think having that interaction, you know, as a Black man with those different stakeholders, and just being able to provide what those experiences look like, and even my learnings from those experiences. So we know that when it's time to try and engage with those people, we know, okay, this might be a tricky way of doing it. This might be a better way of doing it. Doing it that way might cause more challenges. Doing it this way might bring more peace. So I think those kind of experiences from, you know, day-to-day lived experiences, interacting with all stakeholders, just in day-to-day life, definitely adds to that unique perspective.
Thank you. And are there any barriers or concerns that you are aware of in getting involved in research? And what can be helpful in supporting people to hear more about research?
I think for me, the only barrier is really just whether people know about it or not. Like I wouldn't know, you know, if not because of my relationships with people in this group, I don't know if I would have known if there was any research available anywhere, and I don't know who would have reached out to me or who I would have reached out to. So I think the number one barrier would definitely be communication and awareness, that people wouldn't generally know either where they are or what it actually is.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. And just telling people to trust us as well. I think trust is a major thing as well. You know, research. I think, you know, if we'd done a quiz on what's the next word after research, it would be trust. You know, the community still do not trust us. I say us, I'm putting myself with you guys now directly, right? But they do not trust research. And where is it going to go? You know, who's going to see it? Is it going to be used against me? Is it going to be used here? Is it safe? All of those kind of things. So I think that education, what we're doing now, it will help going forward. You know, it will definitely help going forward. And I've seen it over the last 12 months, the amount of more people wanting to take part in research, and even so much as well, you know, that I sometimes get complaints from people saying, well, how can I get involved in research now? You know, that never would have happened 12 months ago. So people do want to get involved, but they just don't know how to get involved. So doing this and all the other stuff that we do as a forum is definitely going to be beneficial for the community going forward.
Yes, and following up on Andrew's point, I think the distrust is a major barrier. As I mentioned before about culturally, you know, there are a lot of times people from, you know, global majority backgrounds, they don't want to share information. They want it to stay within the home. That probably comes with maybe some shame as well around the topic. So yeah, the distrust needs to be worked on. You know, even to share like ethnicity data, people are hesitant to do that because Andrew mentioned they're not sure how that's going to be used or where it's going. But I think if we're able to show, even from this project, how we're going to use some of that information and maybe present in different formats like graphs, videos, even doing audio clips like this will really hopefully help to, ease some of that distrust that exists.
Thank you. And what advice or encouragement would you offer to someone who is unfamiliar with research or feels hesitant being involved?
I would say that they should be open. They can listen, be willing to share their own experience, and that there's no wrong questions or no contribution that's not valuable to this. So even if they might have hesitation, their voice and their view and sharing their experience can actually make a positive difference and a positive impact for other people.
Thank you, Davina.
Yep, and I would say as well, for those who are unfamiliar, I think just be comfortable asking as many questions as possible. I don't think there's anything wrong with I don't think any questions are scrutinized or you're judged based on what you know or what you don't know. So feel comfortable to ask, and you will definitely be supported. And I think from those hesitant to participate, I think it's about looking at the bigger picture and not just thinking about yourself, but thinking about the community at large and the help that we need and how beneficial your insight and perspective would be in that sense. I think sometimes we can get trapped in our own thinking, and as a result, we don't participate. Like I said, the bigger picture says we need you, we need help, we need information, and for you to really trust the people involved to see how they work with the information, so you can see the results.
Yeah, I would just echo exactly what both of you guys have said, but also to get to ask for information from the people you're doing research with. You shouldn't just go and just walk into a research. Ask, what is it about? Who is it with? Am I going to see the results later? All those kind of questions. Just ask, because if they are a legit organization doing proper research, they will have that. They will have that information ready to hand to give to you. If I remember correctly from ours, we've done that on the very first session. We made sure that we got everyone to even come up with the name of the group. We really made sure that everyone was feeling safe and comfortable, even before we even started to talk about research directly. So that's what I would tell anyone: is anyone want to do it, just ask for information, ask for it written out, get them to email it you, and then hopefully take part and hopefully be part of a change.
Thank you all for sharing your valuable insights. Before we end, was there any other comments you wanted to make about your experiences?
Just to say, I would just say, let's continue and let's not stop. Let's really make a difference. Yeah, let's continue. Let's really just try and make that difference. Let's not stop, because change needs to happen. Change needs to take place, and it's only with you ladies there, is going to make it, because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing other opportunities for research. So I think we need to make sure that we continue doing it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think Sam mentioned it before about how we communicate that these opportunities are available. That is really essential to obviously getting the people involved and knowing that we can be involved. It's the first sort of advisory group that I've been involved in, and that's through my link with the BME forum. But yeah, it'd be good. We could have more. We could be getting even more information, more data. The more we promote and communicate how people can actually be involved.
And to be able to sit down and talk about it like this is really nice as well.
Thank you all for joining us today, and a special thanks to our guests, Davina Brown, Samuel Bilera, and Andrew Brown, Chief Executive of the Croydon BME Health Forum. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the different accounts from our guests and what it has felt like to be involved in a research advisory group from Black racially minoritized background. Whoever you are and wherever you are listening from, we hope the podcast leads to further discussions on healthcare research. We hope it is a reminder of the importance of supporting communities who are underrepresented in health research, to know that their involvement in any aspect of research is welcomed, that their experiences and perspectives are valued, and, most importantly, that research is only strengthened by their inclusion. For more information, follow us on social media at safe_study_ or the King's IOPPN social media pages. Thanks for listening, take care, and goodbye.